Well, thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm really excited to have this opportunity to talk about social media advertisements and what we have done as researchers. As you have just introduced, I am an assistant professor at the University of Glasgow. I'm part of the DMED project team that Anya has introduced 2 weeks ago. So basically, I will be talking about practical sides of advertisement campaigns that Anya in more detail discussed 2 weeks ago. So this is just a continuation in that regard of that session. This is, of course, a very broad topic. I have tried to focus on both very practical parts of creating an advertisement campaign, but also giving some insights about what we have done and what can be done. And I will be happy to go both ways in Q&A session, either focusing on practical issues of creating advertisement campaigns. I assume that the audience doesn't have that kind of information, or we can go to the other side and we can focus more on the campaigns that we have created and run in Turkey and in other countries. Okay, so first of all, I will briefly introduce what we have done, and then I will discuss why you may consider running social media ads as a civil society organization. What would be potential uses for you? And then I will also discuss why you would want to do it yourself rather than working with an agency, for example. And in particular, what are the advantages of working with Meta? We have in all of our advertisement campaigns, we have always stuck to Meta, which means we run our advertisements on Facebook and Instagram. So this is what I will be talking about today. But increasingly, more organizations are using TikTok as well, which has a very similar advertisement system to Facebook. So some of the insights would apply to that platform as well. And then we will go into technical details of how creating social media ads. Okay, so in our project, we have mainly used advertisements to recruit research participants. So we are researchers and we want people to fill out our surveys, and we use social media advertisements to recruit those people who would fill out our surveys. On the screen, you see an example advertisement we have run on Facebook and Instagram. We conducted these kind of advertisement campaigns in more than 30 countries worldwide. And usually we were able to recruit respondents for very cheap costs, like starting from 0.2 pounds, going up to 4 pounds, depending on the countries. But of course, the audience today would probably be more interested in what we did with civil society organizations. And in that regard, especially relevant is our project with Vote and Beyond in Turkey. So Vote and Beyond is one of the most respected, biggest civil society initiatives in Turkey, working in the field of election integrity. Their main goal is to recruit election monitors who would then serve on the election day to protect ballot boxes. Of course, you can imagine that in a country like Turkey, in which political pressures on the system is increasing, the incumbents' repression on the political system is increasing, this is a difficult task. So we partnered with Vote and Beyond, and we ran advertisement campaigns for 2 weeks, in which the goal was to just recruit election monitors who would then go and serve for Vote and Beyond on the election day. So in that regard, this was a campaign trying to achieve a high-cost political action or social civic action in a difficult context. And we spent around 10,000 British pounds. Our advertisements reached 3 million people across Turkey. Just an important point, we didn't run our advertisements in Ankara, Istanbul, and Izmir, metropolitan centers of Turkey. Instead, we focused on other parts that were in which Vote and Beyond was not that powerful. And as you have seen, during that period, we have been able to recruit around 500 new monitors just with advertisements. Relying on experimental methods, we were able to know exactly how many people our advertisements recruited. So you could argue in terms of cost benefit in this context. And in any other context, it will depend a lot on what your goals are, what your budget is, and so on. But in our case, this was a good result, given that these were some of these people were the very first election monitors, Vote and Beyond, recruited in some districts of Turkey. So it was a result that we were happy about. So this is a brief outline of where we draw our experiences from. Now, why, as a civil society organization, you could consider running social media ads and running social media ads yourself? Here are a list of things that social media ads would probably help you. And I here rely on academic literature as well in this respect. So of course, you can just run social media advertisements to campaign on a certain topic. So your social media advertisements, for example, would just circulate civic society, civic education, short civic education videos. Anya has discussed this option 2 weeks ago. And in Turkey, we have also collaborated with some civil society organizations which were creating those kind of short videos and running those short videos from their own pages. You could do this with online ads, of course. But going beyond that, social media ads, the way Meta platform organizes social media ads, is helpful in several different functions as well. So, for example, you could just use social media ads to increase your followers on social media, which would boost your credibility as civil society organization. It is very easy to collect data and feedback from people who follow you. You could use it for a function similar to the way we used to recruit survey participants. So you could just use it to collect information from people who are interested in your organization. Similar to the function we have used in Turkey, you can use it to recruit new volunteers. In our case, people who clicked on our advertisements with Vote and Beyond, who clicked on these advertisements were directed to Vote and Beyond's page, registration page, and then they left their information to become a volunteer. You could do similar thing, or other means of you could use it for other means of encouraging political and civic participation. Why meta ads and why you would consider running your own ads yourself? So one major thing, of course, is that meta ads and having the skills to use meta to create advertisements on Facebook and Instagram gives you the opportunity to reach billions of people worldwide. So if we look at the maps, what you see is that apart from a couple countries, that is Russia, China, and some African countries, all countries in the world have millions of Facebook and Instagram users. This is especially the case in not only in developed countries, but also in Latin American countries, in some of the Middle Eastern countries, in Southeast Asian countries. So just the skill set of using advertisements would immediately allow you to run advertisements in different parts of the world. And if you look at the percentage of population just using Facebook, you again see that in some countries, a big majority of the population is using Facebook and Instagram. So of course, increasingly there's a divergence in terms of the user base of these different platforms. Facebook is now preferred more by older people or people with lower levels of education. Instagram is more geared towards younger people. But Meta allows you to just create an advertisement that can be then published on both Facebook and Instagram. So in that regard, you are not limited with diverging user bases of these different platforms. And across the world, in many countries, the majority of people are using Meta. Now, going beyond this, a big opportunity, of course, is the ability to create advertisements for certain groups, certain demographic groups. So in our advertisements in Turkey, we didn't want to show advertisements. We didn't want to run advertisements in Istanbul. Vote and Beyond already had thousands of volunteers in major opposition-leaning districts in Istanbul, Izmir, and other metropolitan areas. And this is the same across many countries, many developing countries. There are big groups of people connected to civil society organizations in capitals, but when you go to the rural areas, civil society organizations lack a social base. Now, what advertisements offer you in this respect is just to choose areas in which you are especially interested in increasing your user base. Facebook technologies, Facebook and Instagram platforms allow you to show advertisements based on specific postcodes. So you can even choose at the level of postcodes, and only people living in that postcode will be shown your advertisements. This really increases efficiency. And then you can narrow down the audience of your advertisements depending on age, gender as well, which will help again as if you have a targeted strategy to grow your user base or you want to reach certain groups. Now, going beyond these, a good advantage of Facebook and Instagram is that you can show your advertisements only to people speaking a certain language or using Facebook in a certain language. So, for example, if you are a civil society organization working with refugees, migrants, just showing your advertisements to people using that language, the language that refugee population in the country uses, means huge increase in efficiency, cost efficiency. So your advertisements will be targeted directly towards the population that you want to engage with your content. So in many researchers who are interested in reaching refugee populations, migrant populations, are now using that functionality of Facebook and Instagram advertisements, just showing advertisements in certain languages. Going beyond this, you can also choose, of course, your audience based on their interests, education levels, and so on, like which newspapers they're reading, for example, what hobbies they have, and so on. But I should add that these are not really precise in Facebook. The targeting options that you should really trust are location, age, gender, and languages. Detailed targeting options like hobbies and so on look fancy, but in reality, Facebook is not that good in predicting hobbies or these detailing targeting categories. Beyond these, a big advantage of advertising in social media is the custom audience options. So, for example, if you have permission from your existing followers, you can tell Facebook to show your advertisements to people who are similar to your existing user base or your existing membership base, right? In that respect, if you do that, you will just upload Facebook email addresses and phone numbers of people that are already in your membership base, and then this will help optimizing Facebook algorithms so that your advertisements will be shown to people who will be more likely to become your new members. Again, it is huge efficiency gains. Now, this area, this targeted outreach issue, is a big advantage of advertisements with civil society organizations. We have experienced that it works very well, and this is how you can just reduce costs, you can increase cost efficiency. Now, another big advantage is full control over cost and duration. So maybe right now you are thinking like, okay, this is all good, but what will be the costs? And the good news is that you don't need to commit anything in the very beginning. You can just run daily advertisement campaigns with small budgets and see to what extent it works for you. So Facebook lets you to just start and finish your advertisement campaign whenever you want. With small budgets, you can start and experiment with the promise of Facebook and Instagram for your organizational goals. Facebook will provide a very detailed report on your ads performance, how many people saw it, how many people clicked on it, how many people left information, for example, for you. and so on. So if you are not happy about the performance, you can just stop your advertisements anytime. And this is also one reason why it's better for you maybe to learn using these advertisements yourself rather than working with an agency, because if you work with an agency, they will want you to commit, have some kind of cost commitment so that they can also profit from this. But if you have those technical skills, then you can really experiment with the campaign duration and campaign budget. And finally, as I have already mentioned, a big advantage is really the thing that distinguishes these social advertisement campaigns is optimization algorithms, especially Facebook. What has made Facebook different from all other online advertisement platforms is how well their optimization algorithms work to find the right audience, to find the people who will fulfill the functions that you want them to fulfill. So, for example, who will sign up, really. Okay. Now, so far, so good. This was a very quick review of why you may want to run advertisements on Facebook and Instagram and how it could work for you. From this point onwards, I will focus on more technical stuff, and we will just review how you can create advertisements yourself. Here I should add that, of course, this is, I will cover the broad picture, the main areas, main steps. There will be times in which you will try to do it yourself, and for whatever reason, it will just not work. This is most Facebook advertisers' experiences. Sometimes things just can go the way you don't want it to go. But again, once you know the main points, it will always be easy for you to find help online. Another major thing I should tell before discussing the details is that the functionality you will see, or the exact outline of the page you will come across when you are creating your own advertisements, may slightly differ from the screenshots that I will be showing to you. That is because depending on your browser, depending on your past history with Facebook advertisements, for example, whether you created advertisements before or not, Facebook uses slightly different versions of layouts. But the main idea is always same. The main structure is always same. So just seeing these steps that I will show you in a bit will help you to, again, figure out the path you need to follow. Okay, so having said this, with these caveats, let's just go ahead. This is how a Facebook ads looks like. This is what we want to create. But before creating that, there are multiple steps that we need to go through, which, depending on your technical skills, may take like at least an hour the first time you are doing this, up to an hour. So the first step is that to run advertisements on Facebook, you need a Facebook account and Facebook page. It's of course straightforward, but an important thing to keep in mind is that you should use a Facebook account and a Facebook page that is as credible as possible in Facebook's eyes. So if your organization has a Facebook page that it uses for a long time, and which has reached the maximum number of users, it's better to just use that one to run advertisements so that Facebook knows that you are reliable advertiser. If you don't have any Facebook account or page, you will need to create one, and you better need to do it soon, and you need to invest some time to make it look like a credible Facebook page, because Facebook's spam algorithms can become very aggressive, and they use that kind of information when the page is created, when the account is created, as indicators of the chances that it is used for spamming purposes. So the first thing is then setting up a Facebook account and page. Then the second thing is Facebook Advertisement Manager. So this is the platform you will be using to create your advertisements. Now, this is how it looks like. Facebook Advertisement Manager. You can just reach it Googling Facebook Ads Manager or following this URL. Now, I just want to show you how Facebook Advertisement Manager layout looks like. It is something like this. Again, there may be slight differences depending on your own settings, but you will be coming across this platform. Now, as you see, there's a create button, and that is the button that you will need to click on to create your own advertisements. It will direct you to a menu towards which you can create your advertisements. We will discuss it in more detail in a bit. But continuing here, this is where you will see a list of your campaigns, all the campaigns you created in the past, and your current campaign, advertisement campaign. Here you see all the settings to see the performance of your campaign. Again, Facebook offers you many ways to analyze performance, like how many people saw it, how many people engaged with it, what is the cost, and so on. You can all choose the settings you would like to choose from here. And finally, the crucial part is this where this blue box is showing. Facebook Advertisement Manager is structured along three hierarchical levels: campaigns, ad sets, and ads. When you click on the create button, Facebook will just take you through those three different levels. First, campaign level, a group of settings in the campaign level, a group of settings in the ad set level, and a group of settings at the ads level. So what do these levels mean? Now, the first thing that you need to decide when you are running advertisements, and the first thing you need to tell Facebook or Instagram is, what is your goal? And at the campaign level, the first thing you are telling Facebook is your goal when in creating advertisements, in using Facebook Advertisement Manager. Once you choose the goal, you can create ad sets. Now, the ad set level is the level at which you are choosing audience, you are selecting the audience, the budget, and the schedule of your advertisements. And finally, once you do this, once you choose different audience and budgets, you will go to the ad level in which you actually create the advertisements we saw in the beginning. So here is a portrayal of this hierarchical structure. It is important to have a good understanding of this. Now, under the campaign level, there are two different ad sets, ad set 1 and ad set 2. The logic here is that, let's assume you want to reach, you have decided there are two target groups with your advertisements: women and young people. Importantly, you think that women and young people would be interested in different kinds of advertisements. So in that regard, creating different ad sets for different audiences helps Facebook to optimize separately, use its algorithms to optimize separately for these two audience groups. Okay, so you will have one ad set for women, one ad set for younger people, and then under these you can have separate advertisements. One advertisement just for young people, one advertisement just for female. That is how it works. And again, if let's say that for younger people, maybe you think you came up with two different ideas of advertisements that would draw their interests. So you could put two different advertisements under one ad set, under the ad set of young people, and two different advertisements under the ad set of females. Now, what Facebook will do is, then you can just tell Facebook to optimize. What Facebook will do is to start using your budget across advertisements, and then see which advertisements is more successful at that particular audience group, and then start channeling your budget towards that advertisement. So showing that advertisements more. So this entire hierarchical structure is just to ensure that optimization algorithms of Facebook works better. Okay, So now that we have, I hope, a clear idea of that hierarchical structure, let's go through these three levels: campaign level, ad set level, and ad level. At the campaign level, again, the most important thing is objective, the goal, okay? Now, Facebook will ask you, what do you want to do with your advertisements? And this goes back to my earlier slide on about what you can do with Facebook. So, for example, maybe you want to use Facebook advertisements to engage with your audience, to making it easier for them to send you messages, and so on. This is the first one, messages and engagement. If you choose that one, Facebook will optimize towards that goal and also offer functionalities that allows that one. Now, online sales is another option, another goal. So this is about actions that your audience can take outside of Facebook environment. So let's say you have a website and you want people to become a member. You can define becoming a member as an event on your website, and then or like in Facebook terminology, that will be a conversion or sales, and Facebook will optimize your advertisements towards people who are more likely to take action outside of Facebook environment. Because based on all user data, Facebook knows who are more likely to take time to click on Facebook advertisements than to be directed outside of Facebook environment and take action like signing up for things. This is what you should do. This is what we do when we are using Facebook to recruit research participants. We define completing our surveys on a third-party platform as a conversion action, as a sale, and tell Facebook to optimize towards that action. And it works. Our experience is that it is the strategy that works best. You can choose leads, in which case Facebook will be asking audience to leave you their contact information. Again, this will be good if your target is to just increase your user base. Online traffic is an easier one to use because you are not collecting any information outside of Facebook environment. It is just trying to make people click on your link on your links on your advertisement. Awareness of your brand or location. This is just Facebook will be showing your ads to more people, but not necessarily to people who will be clicking on your advertisements. So if your goal, for example, is to just increase the amount of people who are aware of your operations, your brand, then you can choose that one. Facebook will broadly show your advertisements to people, but not necessarily choose people who are more likely to take certain actions. And finally, if you have an app, you can just define goal as downloading your app, for example, and then Facebook again will optimize towards that. So this is the first decision you need to make for an effective campaign, and it will decide the fate of your campaign to a great extent. That's our experience, at least. Now, another thing that I need to underline is that in the last couple years, Facebook has introduced these special ad categories. So if you are running advertisements on social issues, which will probably be the case if you are a civil society organization, then you need to choose social ads category when you are creating your campaign. This means that Facebook will then know that you will be constrained with some further regulations. For example, if you are creating social ads, then Facebook will add verification of someone who is citizen of a country that you are advertising in. We can discuss this in more detail at the end of my presentation. Okay, so you have made some big choices at the campaign level, and now you are at ad set level, advertisement set level. This is where you are choosing your budget, how much money you want to spend on a daily basis. I would always recommend you to start with small amounts to see the performance. Usually there is, my experience is that there's a linear function at the very beginning. So it is not necessarily the case that if you spend too little money, you don't see any results. But the more money you spend, your results will linearly increase. You will see better results in proportion to the money you are spending. And of course, you can choose start date. You don't have to choose an end date. You can just stop the advertisements whenever you want, whenever you think you have reached your goals. You can create a campaign budget, a lifetime budget as well. In that case, Facebook will not go beyond that budget. You don't have to close it yourself. Again, at the ad set level, you can choose the audience, where they are living. This is something that you can choose at the postcode level, at even postcode level. Age, which age you want your advertisements to be shown to, genders and detailed targeting categories. I had discussed these in the beginning of my presentation, so I'm just skipping for now. And at the ad set level, you can do further, you will be offered further optimization categories. For example, here, when I was taking screenshots, I had chosen traffic options as a campaign goal, campaign objective, just link clicks, traffic to websites. So Facebook tells me that I can optimize based on landing page views, link clicks, or just the amount of people that will see my advertisements in a certain day. You can choose on which platforms you want your advertisements to be shown. Now, an important thing to mention here is that Facebook will constantly try to make you choose some settings, automatic settings, in which it has the room to optimize itself. So for example, in this page, you see automatic placements are recommended, which means that you are choosing all the platforms, and then Facebook just starts, first of all, running your advertisement broadly. And once you see in which groups they are working better, it just diverts your campaigns, your budget towards that group. Now, this can be good, this can be bad, depending on what you want to do, right? Like if you want a certain group of people to see your advertisements, then you shouldn't let Facebook for automatic placements. You shouldn't let Facebook for that automatic settings of itself. You should follow manual settings. On the other hand, if you don't care about the characteristics of your audience, maybe it's better to leave these to Facebook. And finally, advertisement level. At this level, you are just creating, finally, uploading your image, the image that you want people to see. You are choosing which Facebook page people will see your advertisements at. And also you are just creating the advertisement. And this is also when you are entering the website URL that you want people to be directed towards, if you have that kind of a preference, if you want people to be directed to your own page, for example. Of course, depending on your campaign objective, whether you have chosen leads, sales, or traffic, the settings on this page will differ. If you have chosen leads, for example, then you will be telling Facebook what kind of information you want people to leave, to share with you. And Facebook is finally showing how your ads will look like on people's feeds. An important point to consider here is that normally you will want your ads to be shown across all the platforms, right? Facebook, Instagram, Facebook mobile, Facebook desktop, and these all may require slightly different versions of image. So it is good practice to go through different previews here to decide to make sure that your advertisements is fit for every single platform that Facebook will be running at. In general, Facebook asks you to upload a horizontal version, a vertical version of your advertisement, a horizontal version, and a small version, and this should be enough. But again, once you create this advertisement, you should just ensure how the advertisements looks like across all these platforms in which Facebook can show your advertisement. Now, so far so good. It all looks easy, I think. One issue that may be a bit tricky is the issue of Facebook pixels, meta pixels. If you want to use, if you want people to take action on your own website, such as signing up, such as for an event, such as filling out a form, and if you want to optimize towards people who will be likely to do that, then you need to find a way to send information from your web page to Facebook, right? This is what metapixel is for. So basically, you need to create a code on Facebook and then upload that code to your own website, to link it to your own website. And then you need to tell Facebook which action on your website should count as an event, that's how it's called, that Facebook should optimize towards. It sounds complicated, but it may be very easy if you use partner integrations. That is, if you are using a widely used platform such as WordPress or Wix as your web page builder. So, for example, here you see partner integrations. For any of these partner integrations, any of these website builders, Facebook has an easy setup tool that will just take you towards the processes to create that meta pixel first and then link it to your own website. And you can use event setup tool. Just one thing to note, Events Manager, all of these settings are on Events Manager, and Events Manager is accessible through Advertisement Manager. As you see on the screen, left-hand column of Advertisement Manager gives access to Events Manager, which is used to link your own web page to Facebook so that you can share information between those two. Okay, so before concluding, just a couple things just to underline, challenges to underline. First of all, as I have mentioned, you need to declare your ads as special category ads if they are about social issues, and this will create some constraints. Most importantly, a new protocol Facebook developed after disinformation, Russian disinformation debates is that in order to run advertisements, social issue-based advertisement in a certain country, you should register as a citizen of that country, as a resident of that country. So you need to go through that procedure if you want to advertise in that country. Another thing is that Facebook is getting aggressive with its spam detection algorithms. So it used to be easier, but now if you just create a new social media page, social Facebook account, and immediately start advertising, Facebook can detect you as a spam, as spam, and ban your advertisement account, ban your advertisement page. So what should you do? You should try to build a credible page, advertise through a credible page, and you should start slowly when you are advertising. You should start with small budgets, and then if it's necessary, grow your budget gradually. So to conclude, social media advertisements can really be useful, I think, for realizing NGO, non-governmental organization goals. There is our own research, experimental research, shows that social media ads help. There is research conducted by academics in other countries as well, showing similar results. There's some academic research showing that ads are not helpful in some functions like getting out of the vote campaigns, for example. So having a knowledge of academic literature can help, and I will be happy, we will be happy in that regard to help to talk. But I think social media advertisements can be an important, a good component in grant applications as well, to get grants and then to use it to grow your social media base and realize your campaign, realize your organizational goals. Creating advertisements can look a bit challenging, especially due to these spam detection algorithms, which are becoming more aggressive. On the other hand, there is tons of resources available. Remember that once you start advertising, you are part of the community of Facebook advertisers. So what applies to business owners, small business owners, usually apply to you as well. So if you go to YouTube, Reddit, you will find tons of resources that will try to help you, that will help you in the problems that you face during those processes. Meta also has partnership programs supporting NGOs. I don't know about the details of those programs, but you can go and check as well, and maybe you can find them useful. Okay, this is where I will stop sharing. This was a very, very brief, quick overview of what you can do. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. This is my email address. Anya and I have done this kind of presentations to researchers, and from time to time I receive emails from researchers who are facing problems with these when they're dealing with Facebook, and especially if I have time, I'm always happy to help in solving that problem.